I took my car to the mechanic recently for something simple, just an oil change and a tire rotation. Now, a little context. My car is a 2003 Chevy Tahoe, so she's a bit experienced. She still runs, she still gets me where I need to go, but she can squeak and leak, and something is always a little bit wrong with her. Kind of like a grandmother with a bad hip. She's still fully functional, but just a little bit noisy. As part of this mechanic visit, they did one of those digital visual inspections. You know the kind. They send you photos and a list of everything that might be wrong now or could be wrong in the near future. The guy walking me through it was young, maybe 22 or 23. He was super professional, very thorough, and he's explaining every issue one after another. And I'm thinking, yeah, that tracks. Yep, that tracks. But across the shop, I noticed the facility manager watching. He's kind of got a half smile on his face, kind of half shaking his head, and eventually he walks over. And I ask him, all right, real question. What actually needs to be fixed, and in what order? He looks at the list and starts going through it. Yeah, that can wait, this can wait, this can wait. And then he says, but this one, yeah, you should fix that one first. I glance over the younger guy and you can see it on his face. He's thinking, but everything has to be fixed. Anything that's wrong with his car needs to be fixed right away. And that's when the manager said something that stuck with me. He said, this car is 22 years old. There's always going to be something not quite right. You could easily put a few $1,000s into it at any given time. What matters is knowing what's critical, what's important, and what can wait. Some things can mean you have just a bit of a bumpier ride, and some things mean you're not driving home. Big difference. What impressed me wasn't just the advice, it was how he gave it. He coached his young employee with respect. He didn't scare me, he didn't overwhelm me, and he gave me clarity. As I drove home, I realized something. That's not just how cars work. It's how life works. Life, just like my Tahoe, is never going to be perfect. There will always be something squeaking, something leaking, something not quite right. If you go looking for flaws, you will always find them. And just like my car, I don't have the time or energy or resources to fix everything all at once. So you prioritize, you budget, you fix what matters most, and let the rest of it wait. There's this weird sound that my starter makes, not when I'm starting the car, but afterwards, like when I'm driving sometimes. And a mechanic told me it's the starter Bendix. Not a car person, so don't ask me to explain what that is. But the mechanic told me you can replace it now, or you can just wait for it to actually break. And he said you might be able to drive it for years, and it just makes this weird clicking sound, and you're fine. But when it does break, we'll fix it. So I drive it with that weird clicking sound every once in a while. Because not everything that's imperfect is urgent. And that's a lesson that a lot of us need to hear. We get stressed trying to fix every flaw in our lives immediately. Our careers, our finances, our relationships, our personal growth. We think if it's not perfect, it's failing. But some things are just in progress. Life is full of squeaky shocks and burned out brake lights. Things that still work, even if they're not ideal. And that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means you're living. So here are 2 things I want to leave you with today. First, learn to recognize what actually needs to be fixed. And, maybe more importantly, the order it needs to be fixed in. Not everything deserves your panic. Not everything deserves your energy right now. Secondly, if your life doesn't look as polished as someone else's, remember this. It might just not have been through as much as you have. Or maybe they've had actually more time to work things out and get things fixed. Mileage matters, experience matters, and it's okay to be a little worn. It's okay to be a work in progress. No one worth listening to is judging you for fixing things one step at a time. You're doing the best you can with what you've been given, and that's more than enough. So keep going, fix what matters, and let the rest wait. You're doing a great job.